Good morning, Arthur Rafferty, ASNITV. I was asked to attend a meeting last weekend to speak about asbestosis, human rights and justice. Now, at the meeting I was introduced to an American attorney at law from New York. Now, this man was a human rights attorney. This man runs his own law firm with a staff of 64 people. After the meeting I asked him if we'd like to go for something to eat. He was booked into one of the large hotels in Belfast that was not too far away from our conference. So we went there instead. After dinner we went into the lounge waiting room where we spent many hours talking about the various cases that he heard at the conference. He was very interested in speaking about my case and to why the legal people wanted to shut me up so my case would not be heard. I explained to him how 7 doctors, 2 solicitors and 2 lawyers colluded with each other to tell lies about my illness so that my case for compensation would fall through. These doctors were paid for doing their work, that was to diagnose me with my illness, and was their duty of care to do so. These solicitors and lawyers were paid legal fees, legal aid for 7 years to prepare my case for court. Both failed badly. Corruption, fraud and malpractice comes to my mind. These so-called people, professional people, who after all were well paid for doing their work, but apparently they were not getting enough money, so they had to go to Plan B. Now I know what Plan B is, as I am an investigative reporter and I've been looking into this case for the past 5 years. And I'm glad to say that I'm almost there. And I am preparing a file to send to the European Court of Human Rights, telling them exactly what has been going on here for the many years between doctors, solicitors, lawyers and the insurance companies. This scam has been going on right under the noses of their bosses, who have turned a blind eye to it and are well aware that the insurance scam has been going on for many years. I myself have reported it to various government bodies, but absolutely nothing was ever done about it. And that is the reason why these corrupt scum have tried to talk me down and keep my case from reaching the courts. And also, I have been refused legal representation in court, and by the way, according to the Magna Carta, signed almost over 900 years ago, my human rights entitles me to have legal representation in court. Now, this New York attorney has taken all of my details and stories and is going to inquire with the large insurance companies in New York, as they are associated with companies here in Northern Ireland. He was very keen to offer me his help into looking into this insurance fraud and would be keeping in contact with me daily. He was very interested into the knowledge that I had about the legal system here in Northern Ireland. But after many years of speaking to disgruntled solicitors and lawyers who have been let down by the legal system here, as certain solicitor firms and lawyer firms get all the rich pickings and the others get nothing, only the crumbs. Now, these people have given me statements, signed statements, and I've had face-to-face meetings with them many times, and the stories they tell me are of total disgust with the whole corrupt system, run by corrupt people who have no morals at all, and a lot of these people are so-called Catholics. Many of those who have spoken to me are now left the legal system. They have had enough of it. In particular, one in particular, after 15 years as a solicitor, is going to write a story and a book about the corrupt antics of her fellow solicitors and lawyers and the workings of the corrupt Bar Council and the abuse of the legal system by lawyers and solicitors, which according to her own words was rampant, nothing short of massive fraud by people who should know better. And those in charge, such as the Lord Chief Justice and the Attorney General, know that this abuse of public funds is going on and are doing nothing to stop it. It makes you wonder why. I gave this New York attorney at law all the statements that the solicitors and lawyers gave me, and he was amazed after he read them. At our last meeting before he went home, he sprang a total surprise on me. He offered me to come to New York and to speak to delegates and meet some congressmen who he said would be able to push my case further, and that he would pay my fare both ways, which I gladly accepted. So I am eagerly awaiting on his invite to visit the Big Apple and to let the world know what type of a corrupt legal system we have here in Northern Ireland, including corrupt judges in our high courts. Now, and speaking about our Muppet government, we have Sinn Féin IRA terrorists and war criminals, also loyalist bigots running our country, put into power by the British government as a reward for the brutal murders of innocent men, women and children. I will also be raising my father's brutal murder carried out by Sinn Féin IRA, who colluded with the British Army and the RUC Special Branch. The 5-man Sinn Féin IRA gang were all Special Branch informers, well paid by the RUC. And the scum who murdered my father, codenamed Steak Knife, I have his name also, was a well-paid informer for the FRU, that's the Forces Research Unit, a unit of the British Army, and he now lives under their protection in London, costing the British taxpayer £80,000 per year. I have already reported this 5-man gang to the War Crimes Commission in The Hague, and I have received word back that they are now looking into my case. I want those Sinn Féin IRA criminals to stand trial on war crimes, as those murderers from Sinn Féin IRA have murdered at least 2,500 innocent men, women and children in their so-called war, and in my eyes that is mass murder. Then you get McGuinness and his squad of Sinn Féin being invited to a party by the Queen, but here one war criminal knows another war criminal. If McGuinness and Adams thinks that by sucking up to the British government and the Queen that the British government will eventually grant them and their Sinn Féin IRA band of murderers an amnesty for all the innocent men, women and children that they have murdered and maimed over the past 40 years, let me tell them that my father's murder will not go unanswered, and I will get revenge for his death, no matter where the British government is heading their Sinn Féin IRA informer Steak Knife. As I said to him before, if he, Steak Knife, wants to take out another orthography, I am ready anytime, anywhere, bring it on. My friend the Attorney General from New York agrees with me 100% that both these stories will have to be told to the American people, who hold human rights and justice very high in their list of priorities. As your two stories cry out from the heavens for truth, honesty, justice and human rights. Now, anyone who would like a story, a tape of that story, or any one of my other stories can call me on my mobile 07715 921137. Leave your name and address and I will send you a tip free. Thank you. Anyone who has a story to tell and wishes me to air it can call me on my mobile 07715921137, or I can send a reporter out to get your story. And remember, I will tell your story as you tell me. Nothing will be cut out. Watch more of my stories on YouTube, arthurrafferty.com, YouTube Arthur Rafferty, Arthur Rafferty Docker, YouTube Jackspot 2012. My email is arthurrafferty1@gmail.com. Thank you for watching ASNI TV. I will see you soon and good morning.